I wanted to ask you a question. Do you find reaching your ideal weight or you're staying at your ideal weight challenging?
No.
Why?
No, I never have to worry about my weight at all.
Okay. Same, actually.
Right.
But I wanted to just kind of like, we talked a lot about the numbers and it sounds overwhelming, but the practical of it is a little bit easier and not so overwhelming, because when you eat this diet and you get used to eating a diet that has all the right components, it's not challenging to include 1.5 ounces of nuts.
Right. Well, a person who's like LeBron James may should be eating 6 ounces of nuts because he's 6'8" and he's exercising all day. But
totally,
he needs more calories.
Yes.
But I get your point. You're making an excellent point, and that is, when we eat a diet with the right type of balance, your body then instinctually desires the right amount of calories, and we're going to gravitate towards a healthy weight for us, and we're no longer obsessing about food.
Right.
Because this person is obsessing, I can't eat nuts, I'll gain weight. They're still thinking about dieting and not eating this and not eating that, and they're still thinking about restricting this food, and I'm keto, I can't eat a starch. We're not thinking of any of those things. We're just eating what we feel like eating, and we're not that restrictive, but we don't want to overeat. We're satisfied with the amount of calories we're eating. We don't have to worry about our weight. We're not on a diet. We're just eating for our health.
Yeah, and what's cool is like the optimal range of nuts and seeds that you talk about is also the amount that I want to have as salad dressing. So like when you have it as a salad dressing, I'm not measuring it out. I'm putting the amount of dressing that I like. I'm putting the amount of sauce I like. I just made the like beans and greens casserole. I wanted a creamy pasta, and so I put the amount of sauce that I liked, and that's the optimal amount.
That's a really great point you're making. Because that's right. We're not measuring an ounce and a half or a half of ounce to meal. We're not measuring the amount we're using.
No.
We're just making a dressing that tastes good.
Yeah.
And we're not dousing a whole bowl of dressing with we're eating just a little. So the time we figured it out, it's about a half an ounce per person or 3/4 of an ounce per person.
Right.
When we just dump on the right amount of dressing or the right amount of Thai curry sauce on our vegetables, it just comes out about the right amount. And we're not dieting, measuring. That's what I'm objecting to some of these diet gurus that do good work. But they make people have to obsess about everything to such a degree of weighing and measuring and thinking about food all the time. We're just enjoying our life and eating what tastes good and making some good sauces and making some good desserts. And it just comes out to be, it works. It's about the right amount.
Throwing in half an avocado or making a nut pie crust because nuts and seeds are a part of the equation, which is so fun. It makes cooking this way really fun, but it's not.
And tasty. Yeah,
and tasty too. Right. Yeah, that doesn't hurt either. But it's not... once you get in the routine and learn how to do it, it's not where you have to be neurotic or measure things or challenging. Your body really does lead you to the optimal diet, which is kind of cool.
That's exactly. That's why I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping for. With enough time, and that's why I don't put people on these. That's why I don't use the caloric restriction so powerfully, like to 500 calories a day, or too much of the intermittent fasting type, where they cut back calories too low, or even water fasting or juice fasting. Because then the person keeps seeing it as a diet with all these restrictions that they have to measure, and they keep bouncing on and off diets, and they don't just see that this is a lifestyle that they have to be of consistency with and learn to develop an instinctual feel for and get the right type of emotional and tools put together where they're not thinking about food all day long and weighing and measuring and trying to control their calories.
Right.
Just live and eat healthfully and see if you can be satisfied with the right caloric window.
Because you always said it's not about what you do short term anyways. It's the marathon. It's your whole life.
It's the marathon. And just to shove in here, I was doing some things wrong, which I just found out about,
Oh, I know what that is.
I know this guy, David Wolfe. He's a plant-based guru, a fun guy. And not a fun guy like a mushroom, but a fun guy like a fun guy.
Like you want to hang out with him.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. So he calls himself David Avocado Wolfe. So I went and spoke at one of his conferences.
Okay.
And I got up on stage and I said, I'm Joel Cherimoya Fuhrman. Nice to meet you guys all in the audience here.
Because we love Cherimoyas.
Because we love Cherimoyas, right?
God,
oh my God.
Can't believe it.
I know.
Can't believe what you're about to say.
Right. Anyway. So I'm studying and I'm looking at some articles that people who are eating sour sops, atamoyas, cherimoyas, sweet sop, this category of foods that's like my favorite food.
Yeah.
Has effects to increase risk of Parkinson's and dementia in later life to a poison in the fruit. So I'm figuring, that's people who just eat a whole bunch of it. People in the Caribbean who just live on this stuff.
Yeah.
Eating like 4 of them a day or something.
For sure.
Not us who are eating like 1, 2 or 3 a week.
I've done 2 or 3 before.
Yeah, and I've been doing like every other day I have one or something. And, living in California now somehow. I used to, when I'm in season, I'm having them every day after my lunch. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Okay, and I'm in, what's it when somebody dies? You're in like, you're in
Is it Shiva?
no, it's like you're feeling like you, oh my goodness, I'm feeling depressed over this. You know what I mean? You're in a funk.
Grief.
Grief, feeling grief. So I'm having grief that I've lost this cherimoya. So the study's now coming off showing that even people who have one cherimoya a week due to this poison in the cherimoya have increased risk of dementia in their later years. So now I had to rip out my cherimoya trees. I'm buying at the food market. I'm going to the farmers markets and spending $100 and buying 10 pounds of cherimoya, and then putting in trees with grow cherimoya because it was my favorite foods. So I pulled out of the ground my 5 cherimoya trees and my 5 atamoya trees and my whatever it is, and I pulled them out of the ground, and now I'm not eating cherimoyas anymore. But for 5 years, I've been stuffing cherimoyas down my throat, thinking that it's good thinking it's a healthy food.
You must really like nutrition to rip out those trees.
You got it. Isn't that crazy?
But what's surprising to me is I always thought like nature's food, nature's bounty is everything plays. So it's weird that there's some stuff.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Like you shouldn't eat star fruit. Star fruit also tastes good, but I don't grow that either because it has some negative stuff for the kidney in that or something, or for the liver in star fruit if you eat that too much.
I'm obsessed with blueberries. And like if you told me they were bad for you, like thank God they are one of the healthiest foods in the world. That's still true, right?
Yeah.
Thank God, because like my heart wouldn't be able to take it. It's crazy.
Yeah, there's very few natural foods, but you know what? You shouldn't eat too many Brazil nuts either because they're very high in selenium and they're high in methionine, which is one reason on a plant-based diet, which you prevent cancer, is run a low methionine diet because methionine could, increase cellular replication. So we shouldn't really overdo the Brazil nuts. Have a certain amount per week if you want, but don't make that a major source of your nut intake either.